Libra, something extraordinary is unfolding for you right now. This message isn't random. You're here because the universe has handpicked you to receive a powerful financial blessing and a divine gift, one you didn't expect, and one that's tied to someone watching you in silence. Welcome, beautiful Libra soul. Whether you're a sun sign, rising, moon, or simply carry the Libra vibration in your cosmic makeup, this is not just another horoscope reading. This is a sacred invitation. A transmission. A divine alignment between your inner longing and the external signs finally falling into place. Think about this for a moment. How many times have you quietly worked hard behind the scenes, waiting for something to shift? How many prayers have you whispered late at night with no one around to hear you but the stars themselves? The truth is, something has shifted. A powerful portal is opening for you in this moment. An unexpected reward, financial, emotional, and spiritual, is being released into your life. Not as luck, but as recognition. Recognition of the energy you've been pouring into this world while no one was watching. Here at Zodiac Whisper Tarot, we don't believe in coincidences. We believe in divine timing. And if you've landed on this video, I invite you to see it as a spiritual confirmation. You are being remembered, rewarded, and restored. In this reading, we'll uncover the layers of your divine reward. A major financial win connected to something you've been manifesting quietly. A soul-level blessing that brings you emotional clarity and peace. And the unexpected presence of a secret admirer, someone who has been observing your journey from afar and now feels ready to step forward. Let me be clear, Libra, this moment is not about proving your worth. This is about allowing the blessings you already deserve to reach you. You don't need to chase anything. What's meant for you is already making its way into your life. And before we dive in, let me take a moment to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here. Your presence, your energy, your support of this channel through every like, comment, share, and subscription, creates ripples that extend far beyond this screen. You are part of this spiritual community, and together, we rise. Now I have a small invitation for you, an energetic confirmation, if you will. If you're already feeling this message resonate in your heart, drop a comment below and type, "I'm ready to receive." You can also share the angel number that's been following you this week, whether it's 111, 888, or 777. That number may hold the key to the very message you're about to hear. So Libra, take a deep breath. Let the world pause for just a moment. You are exactly where you need to be. Stay with me until the very end of this video, because what the universe is about to reveal for you is not only beautiful, it's prophetic. Let's begin. Sometimes we don't notice the divine shift until we're standing right in the middle of it. And Libra, that's exactly where you are now. For so long, you've carried yourself with grace through delay, through waiting, through the quiet ache of asking, "When will it be my turn?" And maybe, like so many who feel deeply and move through life with empathy, you've watched others rise while your own harvest remained invisible. But here's the truth, not all blessings arrive fast. The most meaningful ones are the result of spiritual maturity, inner alignment, and unseen groundwork, and yours is finally ready to break through the surface. The energy of the wishbone is potent, and in this moment, it's not just a symbol, it's a confirmation. What you wished for, dreamed of, and prayed over in silence is coming into form. The law of attraction teaches us that focused intention, paired with consistent vibration, magnetizes what we are seeking. But what it rarely tells us is how often that timing is lovingly delayed because the universe doesn't just want to deliver something to you. It wants to ensure you are fully ready to hold it, carry it, and expand it. That's the difference between temporary success and lasting legacy. Energetically, the delay was not a punishment, it was a preparation. It's possible that had your desire arrived too soon, you may have doubted it, self-sabotaged, or clung to it from a place of fear. But now, you've been seasoned. You've learned resilience, built inner stability, and most importantly, deepened your capacity to receive from a place of grounded self-worth rather than anxious striving. In that sense, the blessing itself is not the miracle. You are. So if you've been receiving nudges lately, signs in numbers, dreams that feel vivid, or emotional waves that seem to come from nowhere, those are not coincidences. They're signals. They're the spiritual tracking notifications that your manifestation has shipped, and it's moving toward you with divine velocity. And sometimes, the delivery shows up in ways we least expect: an email that opens a door, a check from something long forgotten, a job opportunity that lands in your lap, or even a message from someone who finally sees your value after overlooking it. In spiritual practice, there's a teaching often shared in devotionals and morning reflections: those who are faithful with the little will be trusted with much. In everyday life, that means showing up with care even when there's no spotlight, doing the hard, quiet work when no one's clapping. And Libra, you've done that. Again and again. So what's arriving now is not just a breakthrough. It's a reflection of who you've become through the wait. This blessing may arrive as a surprise promotion, an unexpected financial return, or a business opening that suddenly expands faster than you imagined. But regardless of form, what matters most is the energy behind it: restoration. The scales of divine justice are balancing in your favor, not as a reward for being perfect, but as a return for staying present, honest, and aligned even when it felt like nothing was happening. Let this moment be one of gentle receiving. You don't have to fight for what's already yours. You don't need to overperform or prove anything. Simply allow what you've called in to come through. And as you do, give yourself credit not just for the manifestation but for the becoming. That's where your true power lies. There's a kind of quiet strength that arises when you start making decisions not just for yourself, but for the people you love. Libra, this month, your energy is deeply tied to the idea of building not just wealth, but foundation. Not just success, but sanctuary. You're no longer chasing temporary wins. You're envisioning something lasting, something safe, something sacred. And at the center of it all isn't status or validation, it's peace. Stability. Emotional security. You're not just building a house, you're reconstructing a home for your soul. The energy of the Ace of Pentacles isn't just about financial opportunity. It's about the start of something that carries deep roots and spiritual weight. This is the seed of material stability, planted with intention and nurtured by purpose. For some Libras, this may look like preparing to purchase a home, investing for the long term, or setting up safety nets for your family insurance, retirement funds, or saving for your children's future. For others, it may show up more quietly, shifting careers to align with values, creating a new schedule that supports your wellness, or committing to consistency in your self-care. Whatever form it takes, this chapter is asking you to think not just of the present moment, but of the generations beyond you, your future self, your family, your legacy. You are being guided to bring structure to your dreams. And that structure doesn't limit you, it frees you. Think of it this way, a tree can only grow tall if its roots go deep. This is your rooting phase, and it's just as important, if not more, than the bloom that comes after. In modern self-help, we talk often about creating a life that feels good on the inside, not just one that looks good from the outside. But in reality, that requires planning, intention, and regular check-ins with your core values. This month is an ideal time to sit down and reflect on what you truly want your next 510 years to feel like. What are you building toward? What systems are you putting in place to protect what matters most? Is your financial planning aligned with the kind of emotional freedom you seek? You don't have to have all the answers. But clarity begins when you pause and allow the questions to rise. One small step at a time. Review your insurance, check in on your savings goals, or talk with someone you trust about smart investments. Not because you're afraid of lack, but because you're ready to hold space for a future that supports your deepest needs. On a more intimate level, I encourage you to lean into grounding rituals this month. Even 5 minutes of quiet meditation each morning can shift your entire day. Let that time be your reset button, a moment where you remind yourself that you are safe, supported, and rooted in purpose. Colors can help too. Surround yourself with nurturing tones like earthy browns and olive greens, colors that anchor your nervous system and calm your decision-making space. They signal to your body that it's okay to slow down and that you're making wise, stabilizing moves. And as you take these practical steps, remember, you are building something sacred. Not just an income, not just a lifestyle, but a life that holds you. You're creating shelter not just from the world, but for your soul. And that, Libra, is not small. That is a quiet revolution. Keep going. You are laying bricks for something far greater than you know. When you're making decisions that impact not just your present comfort but the future of those you love, you begin to live with a different kind of awareness. Libra, this phase of your journey is quietly profound. It's no longer about chasing the spotlight or proving your worth. It's about what endures. It's about laying down roots, creating emotional shelter, and setting a steady rhythm for your life. The energy around you this month is asking something sacred of you, to become intentional with the way you build, invest, and care, not just financially, but spiritually and emotionally. The Ace of Pentacles often marks the beginning of financial opportunity, yes, but in deeper astrological language, it represents fertile ground. Not every sign responds to that energy the way you do. As an air sign ruled by Venus, your natural instinct is to beautify, harmonize, and bring grace to every space you inhabit. But now, you're being called not just to bring balance but to anchor it. The universe is guiding you to turn your vision of a stable, fulfilling life into form through action, through planning, and through quiet devotion to what truly matters. This isn't about achieving everything at once. It's about setting up rhythms that protect your energy and your peace. If you've been putting off looking at your savings plan, considering long-term investments, or checking in with where your money flows, this is your signal to bring those areas into alignment with your emotional values. And it doesn't have to feel overwhelming. Start with one clear step: automating savings, reviewing insurance policies, or reaching out for trusted financial advice. These acts aren't boring tasks. They're spiritual gestures of self-protection. They are how you anchor yourself in a world that can feel chaotic and uncertain. Financial grounding is deeply tied to your emotional safety right now, and if your nervous system has been running on overdrive, it's no coincidence. That inner sense of survival may have been activated not because you're lacking, but because your soul is longing for a deeper sense of home. Home isn't always a place, it's the feeling of being at peace with what you've built. You're allowed to desire that peace. You're allowed to prioritize it. In fact, you're being called to. A beautiful reminder I often share is that when we create structure in our outer world, it gives our inner world the space to rest. That could mean having a consistent sleep schedule, setting a daily boundary with work, or taking 5 quiet minutes each morning to sit in stillness before the demands of the day rise up around you. In those moments, you're not being unproductive, you're being protective. Protective of your energy, your clarity, and your capacity to lead with intention. From a metaphysical perspective, this entire season is planting you deeper into your next chapter. You may not see the full picture yet, but you are building the frame. And when that frame is strong, it can hold more than you've ever imagined. So allow yourself to trust the pace. Trust the small steps. Trust that nothing grounded in love and purpose will ever be wasted. As you move forward this month, surround yourself with colors that help you root down earth tones, soft olive greens, warm browns. Let your environment match your intention: peace, steadiness, clarity. And above all, remember this: what you are creating isn't just about now. It's about the version of you who will look back one day and whisper, "Thank you for choosing peace over pressure, and foundation over fear." There are moments in life when the most profound messages don't arrive through loud declarations, but through whispers. Libra, this is one of those moments. You may not have realized it yet, but something or someone has been quietly circling your energy. And the universe is about to let that truth rise to the surface in the most unexpected, beautiful way. This chapter of your journey isn't only about the material blessings Aravinj, it's also about being seen in ways your soul has been longing for. It's about being acknowledged not just for what you do, but for who you are, in the silent places that only a few people ever truly notice. The presence of the bouquet and moon energy suggests that a heartfelt offering is on its way to you, wrapped in the softness of affection and the depth of mystery. This could show up in the form of a compliment that catches you off guard, a message from someone who has been watching your growth from a distance, or a sudden realization that someone has admired you longer than you ever suspected. It may be subtly an unexpected glance, a thoughtful gesture, or a conversation that feels almost fated, but it carries weight. Spiritual weight. Emotional weight. The kind of energy that lingers in the air long after the moment has passed. In astrology, when Venus, the ruler of Libra, is activated through unexpected transits, it often reveals not only romantic interests but long-buried admiration. You may be on someone's mind more often than you realize. And because of your graceful, balanced nature, you may not notice its imply because you give so much of your energy outward. But this time, the energy is flowing back toward you. There is someone who holds a gentle reverence for you, someone who sees your softness as strength, your elegance as magnetic, your heart as rare. What's important now is not to chase this energy, or demand clarity from it, but to become aware. To remain open. The Moon card reminds us that not all truth is visible under direct light. Sometimes we have to feel our way through, allowing our intuition to interpret what words cannot say. So if you've been sensing a presence in your dreams, or feeling as though someone is thinking of you the moment your chest stirs for no reason, trust it. These impressions may be more than just passing thoughts, they may be energetic signals from someone who is gathering the courage to step forward. And even if no words are spoken yet, let yourself soften into the idea that you are loved in unseen ways. That your energy has quietly transformed someone else's path. You may have been the very prayer they whispered on a restless night. The anchor they held onto when they were drifting. And now, divine timing is preparing both of you for a crossing point. If you're watching this and your heart feels that gentle ache, the one that asks, "Who's been holding me in their spirit without me knowing?" then take a breath and simply listen. Because you don't need to figure it out. What's meant for you will find you. Your only job is to remain open, to walk with grace, and to receive. And as you do, remember that love doesn't always enter with noise. Sometimes, it arrives as a quiet miracle wrapped in recognition. You are not invisible. You are not forgotten. You are deeply admired, quietly loved, and spiritually remembered, perhaps by someone who is about to make that very truth known. There comes a point in every soul's journey where the road ahead no longer feels like a chase, but a gentle unfolding. Libra, you are arriving at that place now. Everything you've planted in patience, whether through quiet effort, creative exploration, or the inner work no one saw, has begun to stir beneath the surface. That stirring is the signal. Something is coming alive. And the most powerful part is, you no longer need to force it. You're in the energy of unfolding, where timing catches up with purpose, and what you've been aligned with begins to respond to your vibration without pressure. When we enter this flow state, things that once felt difficult begin to move more easily. This isn't because the world suddenly changed. It's because you changed your relationship to the world. The energy of, in the flow, reminds us that release often accelerates results more than effort does. And this month, your gift is the deepening of that trust in your intuition, in your higher timing, and in your ability to receive without constant striving. That doesn't mean you do nothing. It means that your action becomes intuitive, efficient, clear. You begin to follow the inner current instead of swimming against it. In astrology, Libra is known for its balanced logic, aesthetic sensitivity, and natural ability to relate, but what's often overlooked is your immense creative potential. You are ruled by Venus, the planet of beauty, art, and magnetism. That means when you act from a place of authenticity, when you create from joy rather than urgency, you attract the exact paths you're meant to follow. Right now, those paths may begin to show themselves in unexpected ways. That's why the energy of many choices is arriving. The universe isn't asking you to pick one perfect direction. It's inviting you to explore, to try, to experiment, and to listen deeply to where your energy feels lightest. Some of you may find yourselves drawn to careers in visibility, teaching, coaching, or content creation, especially if your voice carries messages of healing, awareness, or empowerment. The role of an influencer is not about trends. In its highest form, it's about resonance. It's about sharing something you've lived through in a way that lights a path for others. If you've been through a season of growth, maybe your story is the very medicine someone else is waiting for. Others may feel called to a more imaginative role, a creator of experiences, products, or art that speaks without needing explanation. If your spirit has always felt a little childlike, if you see beauty in places others miss, then you might find your fulfillment in expressing that essence through books, visuals, design, or soulful craftsmanship. Whatever direction you feel drawn to, Give yourself permission to step into it slowly but intentionally. One powerful daily practice I recommend is to start each morning with 5 minutes of journaling. Ask yourself, what do I want my work to feel like? What kind of energy do I want to give and receive? Then, after journaling, sit in silence for a moment and repeat this affirmation: I am a magnet for meaningful, heart-centered opportunities. My work is aligned with love. Say it with softness, say it like a prayer. Not because it's a performance, but because it recenters your energy. And as you move forward, remember this: the universe doesn't reward pressure, it responds to peace. Follow what feels gentle, what feels true, what feels like it's guiding you home. Sometimes, your new career isn't just a job, it's your healing. It's your message. And it's already making its way to you. If you've made it to this moment, Libra, take a deep breath and feel that truth settle into your chest. You didn't arrive here by accident. You were meant to hear these words today, at this exact point in your journey, because something within you is finally ready. Ready to receive. Ready to soften. Ready to step into the kind of life you've secretly known was possible for you all along. And no matter how long you've waited, no matter how often you've doubted it, let me be the one to say it to you clearly now: your season of harvest is here. Perhaps you've spent years planting seeds in silence. Quiet efforts. Unseen healing. Kindness no one clapped for. But the universe doesn't forget. Energy doesn't disappear, it transforms. And all that you've given from a place of heart is beginning to echo back toward you, reshaped as opportunities, clarity, connection, abundance. But you must choose to receive it. Because this next chapter is not about working harder. It's about trusting deeper. You don't have to wait for anyone else to grant you permission. You don't have to wait for things to be perfect before you begin. You are the author of this unfolding. You hold the pen. And the story of your life, your work, your relationships, your growth can be rewritten at any moment when you remember that power was never outside of you. It was always in your willingness to believe, to begin again, and to align with the highest vision of who you are becoming. So let me ask you, what would shift if you trusted that everything you need is already making its way to you? What would you try this week if fear wasn't steering the wheel? What one small step could you take today to break out of your comfort zone and into your calling? Maybe it's reaching out to someone you admire. Maybe it's finally launching that project, or simply allowing yourself to rest, knowing that rest, too, is productive when it's aligned with self-worth. I want to invite you to anchor today's energy in a personal way. Drop a comment below and write, "I am ready to receive my divine victory." Let that declaration be a conversation between you and the universe, a way of saying, "I'm awake now. I choose growth. I choose alignment." And if a certain angel number has been following you, 111, 222, 555, write that, too. You might be surprised how many others are walking beside you, holding the same kind of hope. If this message has stirred something in you, I ask gently that you give it some love, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs this energy today. Every small action you take helps this message ripple outward. Every subscription joins you to a growing circle of souls awakening into their own power. From my heart to yours, thank you. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for believing in your own light. And thank you for allowing me, here at Zodiac Whisper Tarot, to walk beside you in this sacred unfolding. You are radiant. You are worthy. And you are ready. Keep choosing yourself, Libra. The universe already has.